Chris Sims gave his quarterback rankings, and I love his quarterback rankings. You can tell he put a lot of thought into them. He put Jimmy Garoppolo number 21, which is roughly where he was last year, and Trey Lance 38. What do you guys think, starting with...
Look at that. And I reviewed everything right before. So I have I really like Chris Sims' top 10 list. It was a list of 40, but the top 10 I completely agreed with for the most part. Of course, you're not going to agree with every single placement. But going further down, Garoppolo was grouped with guys like Kirk Cousins, Joe Burrow, Carson Wentz, Sam Darnold, and Cam Newton. That's fair to have Jimmy Garoppolo right below those guys. And what stood out to me about Sims's rankings is that he stuck to his guns. He put out all of that, his pre-draft rankings before the draft. He had Trey Lance as the 6th quarterback, Justin Fields the 5th, and then he flip-flopped those guys. His first rookie quarterback comes in at 29, and that was Zach Wilson, or 27, excuse me, on his list of 40. Zach Wilson was 27, Trevor Lawrence was 28, and he had Wilson number 1 and Lawrence number 2. So to me, his evaluation of the rookie quarterbacks and where he placed them has been consistent. These guys haven't stepped on an NFL field yet. Why should he change his ranking? So I have no problem with anything. Kellen Mond is above Trey Lance, and he had Kellen Mond above Trey Lance pre-draft. These guys have not stepped onto the football field yet. They have not proven anything, and it's just to have a discussion. So good for Chris Sims for putting up this list of 40 quarterbacks. And you can't look too much into it because the guys that he ranked towards the bottom haven't stepped on an NFL field yet. And I thought it was funny. The starting quarterbacks that he had rookies ahead of were Jared Goff, who is like in the 30s, and same for Drew Lock. And he had Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence above both those guys. So it was a good list from Chris Sims, and I don't have a problem with it.
I thought this list was wild just because of how high he put guys like, I'm looking at it right now. Taysom Hill is like higher than guys that are actually full-year starters in the league. And I'm just like, Taysom Hill is like listed as a tight end in fantasy last year. So like for him to now be like a top, 30 whatever, top 30 quarterback is like nuts to me. But I just thought that it was kind of just, I don't know. He put all the rookies low, which I thought was crazy. I mean, but for some reason he feels like Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson are going to be good. So it's just kind of like his favorites, right? He's listing them as far as his favorites. I thought Justin Herbert was really low. I don't know. I guess Chris Sims is known for doing these type of things, and you could nitpick here and there, but I thought it was just wild how like he was playing. He was just like choosing which rookies can be better than starting quarterback, and then all the other rookies were much lower. And him putting Kellen Mond above Justin Fields and Trey Lance, I know he rated them like that. I just think that's disrespectful.
Well, I do have a quick question. I was just going to comment on Suneil. Like, it's his quarterback list. You know what I'm saying? Like, those were his pre-draft rankings. It's his quarterback list, and he kept it consistent, which I personally appreciate because I hate the flip-flopping that people do. Stick to your guns. So I don't personally.
Hey, well, he's consistently crazy. And
it's his turn.
Chris Sims is a quack. My goodness. Well, how are you gonna make that ranking, man? Like I like the point that Nick said. I agree with them. Like, that sounds right where he's at 21st and the surrounding quarterbacks. But and then that's how I like that Suneil brought that up with Taysom Hill. I saw that and I was like, how the hell is Taysom Hill on here, man? Why is he even considered to be on here? But I think the part where I want to focus on is how are you going to rank a rookie quarterback that hasn't even stepped on the field yet? Was this like just projection, or is this what he thinks that's where they are now? Like, I like the part where he's consistent. That's fine. That's good. I mean, not like saying if you changed it wouldn't be bad because, if you get more information, of course, you're going to change opinions, perspectives. But why is Lance even ranked 38th? Why is all these rookies like they haven't stepped on the field yet, bro? We don't know why they look like. I mean, Grant's barely been out there for like 4 practices. We still don't know what sorry for overestimating, buddy. But we don't even know what he is. All we've seen and you have like 40 minutes total of looking at him, Grant. Exactly. So we don't know. How are you gonna rank 38th? Like, let him step on the field first. Even if they took preseason, maybe then you get a little sliver of what you can like designate him as. But for all we know, Justin Herbert went out there and last year, and all of a sudden now people are like coining him like a top 15 quarterback, and that's because like what he did, like he looks amazing. So things are going to change. You know, it's not going to remain consistent, but I just think it's kind of wild that how you're going to put a rookie quarterback among these already starting caliber players like that. It's a little wild to me.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with where he put Garoppolo or Lance at this point. I think Garoppolo is probably in that ballpark. He might be a little bit lower. I think I agree with the folks that have, you know, the whole thing with Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston being right behind him in the top 25. I think that's absolutely nuts. If you watched, I mean, just based off the 49ers, the game they played against the 49ers last year, those guys came in the game. Then if the 49ers had done a couple of things on offense, they probably win that game with those two guys out there. I look at this list and I look at Tom Brady at number 10 and Justin Herbert at number 11. And then you see Kyler Murray at 7 and Lamar Jackson at 6. I'm like, that's where this list lost me right there, because both those two guys, Kyler Murray isn't a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Lamar Jackson's not a top 10 quarterback in the NFL either. So it's really interesting the way that he puts this thing together. And I don't agree with it. Definitely the top of his list. And as far as Garoppolo, I think he's right about where he should be. And Lance is going to end up being higher than that by the end of the season, I believe.
Yeah, I don't understand why people keep downgrading Brady. Like, what is it? He just won another Super Bowl. What does he have to do? He's got the same skill set he's always had. To me, he's got to be top 3. And then the other one that was interesting, putting Cam Newton one spot ahead of Jimmy Garoppolo. That was clearly premeditated and makes you think, you know, everyone says the Niners could trade Jimmy back to New England. Can they? I don't know. But the other thing with the rookies, man, like, so you're saying, I understand putting Trey Lance at 38 if you're saying, well, he's a rookie. How are you going to put him above anyone who's played? Okay, but you put Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence above a bunch of guys. So then let's just say I think he's going to – it's the fact that he put Tua and Tyrod Taylor and Marcus Mariota ahead of Trey Lance is silly. I mean, I think that's really silly. It's going to be so obvious within like 5 minutes that Trey Lance is better than Tua. There's no comparison.
You know what's kind of crazy is obviously we know he's really good friends with Kyle Shanahan and how low he's rating Trey Lance, knowing that Kyle Shanahan just traded 3 first-rounders to get this guy shows how far apart they actually are when they're like rating quarterbacks, because you would think that connection might at least like move him up a few spots or whatever, but he's putting him below Mon. He's putting him below like Jameis Winston, which at least he's a quarterback. Taysom Hill, like, oh my God, you know, that's like putting George Kittle on the list.
Oh, you check. He said he used to be a quarterback. Put him on the list too.